morning. Welcome in a civics class. As we are discussing our chapter number 5, that is judiciary. We have already discussed about the role and importance of judiciary, what is independent judiciary, what is Supreme Court, structures of the courts, etc. in our previous class. Today we will discuss our last two subtopics, that is different branches of legal system and does everyone have access to the court? So let's see. The branches of the Indian legal system. We have two branches, that is the criminal law and the civil law. The example for the criminal law, that is when we discussed about the crimes against society, the case of Lakshman and Sudha, where she has been killed for the case of not getting dowry. So all these things are committing crimes against society. So when the judgment was passed here, they are getting acts, that is criminal law, where you harm somebody, you torture someone, you kill someone. There the first information report FIR will be filed. Then information goes on truly to get the sufficient evidences, and then the judgment will be listened and heard to everybody. Let civil law, where the domestic violence, where you torture someone but you don't harm them, or you harm them to very limited extent. The Domestic Violence Act is an appropriate example for the civil law. So in Indian judicial system, we have the laws like criminal law and civil law. And moving in further, getting these laws or approaching the court is not so easy. Are all the courts accessible to the people? Are people all getting easy access to the courts? To be frank, it's not true, because to approach a court, it is a costly affair. When we are talking about an agriculture labor who depends on his daily wage, he has to absent his work and attend the court. So it's not a easy task, and it's not at a reachable level to many of the people. So the Indian courts are really a very costly affair till 1980s. Looking at this growing disparity between people and the courts, the Supreme Court has introduced the system of PIL in 1980s. PIL stands for Public Interest Litigation. The public interest litigation can be filed by anybody who have looked at any incident which they feel that here the basic rights are violated, here the justice is required to be done. They can be reporting to the Supreme Court. It's not necessary to pay anything. They can even write a letter, send an SMS, or write a telegram to the Supreme Court, which will be considered seriously, and actions will be taken. This started in 1980s through letters or telegrams. The information can be sent to the Supreme Court, and the issues will be taken seriously. If you all remember now, in all the schools, the government ensures that children are given midday meal program. But this is also in impact of one of the individuals' PIL, which was being laid in Supreme Court. In the year 2001 in Rajasthan and in other states, we find millions of people died due to the shortage of food. When the government was asked, they are told the government is not having sufficient amount of fund to maintain it. But in contrary to this, the entire food corporation godowns are filled with food grains and they are eaten away by the rats. One side, you find millions of people struggling to get one meal per day, but on the other hand, you find the godowns filled with grains and eaten away by the rats. The issue was taken to the notice of the Supreme Court. The court has asked the state government to respond on this appropriately, looking at these two contraries. Then the court gave a judgment that according to Article 21, every individual has the right to live. A right to live also gets right to get food, availability of food. So it is the duty of the government to ensure that they get access to food. So in schools, it has to be made compulsory to give midday meal program. The excess stock which stored in the godowns has to be brought outside and distributed to the various districts and ensure midday meal program for all the students who are attending the school. Like this, it has come to the existence, the midday meal program, and we also need to on the other important aspect, that is justice delay is justice denied. When a decision of an incident has been taken after 20 years, then there is no value even though he has been given justice in that case. It would not have any value when it given after 20 years. So justice should not be delayed. It has to be given in a stipulated time. Recently, the former Chief Justice of India, K.G. Balakrishnan, has made a statement giving the details about the number of judges working in our country. The figure is really shocking. Let us look at the statistics. The Supreme Court, in which we have 31 judge posts, 28 is functioning now, 3 are vacant, and in High Court, 984 judge posts vacancies, in which only 685 are working, nearly 306 posts are vacant. And coming to the district courts, we have 19,000 plus district judge posts, in which 15,000 are working and the rest of them, nearly 4,004, are vacant. So this could be one of the reason why the justice has been getting delayed and judgment do not always favor to the common man. If you look at Olga Teli case versus Mumbai High Court, where they have given favor to earlier in 1985, considering that the dwellers, slum people who get very low income, who stay on the footpath, have the right to stay because they have the right to life. So here, as they are paid very less, they could not afford to pay their rents. So as they don't have any other alternative to left out for them, they have to stay there only. So the court gave judgment in 1985 supporting these dwellers, which gave confidence to the people. The courts are favor of the common people. But when they gave reverse judgment in 1999 or 2000, considering these people as encroachers of the city, they are disturbance for the city, development. So like this, judgments have made the common man to feel deprived and left out. So in spite of all this, the Indian judicial system always worked to give justice to the people, to settle the dispute between the state authority, individual against the state, states against the union government, etc. Like this. So the constitution framers have envisioned exactly right that the legislative and the executive should have a right check, like judiciary plays a very vital role in checking the work of legislature and executive. So Indian judiciary is a significant feature of our democratic structure. So this is all about our chapter number 5, that is judiciary. In our next class, we will start new chapter.